You guys, it is 101 TKO Radio. I'm your girl, TaShon of the Mailroom, and we are back in the studio live on this beautiful Saturday. I got my friends in the building with me. LaRon, Mr. Takeover. How you do?
I'm all right. It's up here jamming. I wasn't expecting that remix like that, man. Y'all was hot
Yeah,
me
that's
good
the
jumping.
remix. That's the remix. And I got Tank, the sports guy. What's going on?
It's morning.
It's morning.
It's morning. As
I
all great
feel
songs
you.
start off. It's morning.
I feel you. Listen, before we get started, I need y'all to go ahead and tune in. Y'all better be tuned in already now. But tune in to 101TKORadio.com. Listen, we got a great show today. We got our friends, the FraatHouse crew in the building. I'm so glad to finally have them. And we're going to, talk to them about their endeavors and just kick it today. Nelson, how you doing?
Doing all right.
You doing all right over there on the ones and twos? He keeps us together, yeah. Right? He's like, I ain't got no mic. Leave me out y'all
I'm
business.
trying to take care of your technical problems. It's radio. In other words, it's me.
It's called the mail room, so y'all working for me. Y'all doing what I asked y'all to do.
Again,
Oh.
it's not you. It's me. That's a famous line.
I was good this week. I was good. I did share earlier with everyone that I started the pescatarian. I had 2 days.
You know, ain't no chicken fried fish.
So what had happened was, yesterday I did have my 10-piece. It was during lunchtime, and Chef wasn't there, so of course he did not approve. I did it after he left. But I did cook 2 nights of pescatarian meal.
You just couldn't wait to get to that drive-through window.
I couldn't really.
TaShon is calling you.
I couldn't.
Hey, Tank.
I couldn't, But I mean, I did it.
We're going to come back this weekend, Tank.
You hear music? Oh, okay. But I mean, I did it. I mean, I went grocery shopping.
Mm-hmm.
I got the fish and seafood and all of that, and I was like, I printed out my recipes. I did it.
She tried to find a fish that had wings on it, but
I did. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, they got chicken, fish, wings, and I was sitting there eating, and I was like, I do like fish. I like it.
But when it came down to that wing, though,
yeah. But what really happened? I was comfortable. I was working. I was sitting on the couch, and something was just like, go ahead and order your 10-piece. I really did. I was like,
she had a drive-through window somewhere calling her name.
But so Monday, and I told LaRon now, if y'all put some money on it, I could do it.
She wanted to pay her, Tank. She wanted to pay her for it.
If y'all put some money on it, I could do it.
And I hate to turn it into something stereotypical, but ain't that a woman though?
I mean, I'm just saying.
Incentivize.
That's an incentive.
But wait a minute, look at it though.
I mean, I'm just saying.
But look at it psychologically, the game you playing.
I mean,
it's your challenge.
But don't y'all want me to do right? I thought we were a team. The mailroom team. Y'all want me to do right? I'll do it.
See what I'm saying?
I'll do it. I'm just saying.
See, that's what happened when God gave her that rib. That rib.
Yeah.
That rib.
I'm just saying. I would do right.
So you want us to pay you.
Not that I wouldn't look at it as paying me. It's just an incentive. I mean, you can do it 30 days. I'm giving y'all options. You just let me know.
We got option plans.
30 days. Yeah, I give you a payment plan. Option plan.
She sounds like a medicine on TV. It's gonna help you in the long run. I'm gonna get you with the left eye, your right.
I mean, I'm just trying to tell you, if you want me to do right with the, with the attitudes and the hormones and all of that, is it me again? Oh, if you want me to do it, then I'm just saying, like, just help me, help y'all.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
You sure?
Help me.
See, don't do that, wrong. Don't you do that? Don't you do that? Because you just fell victim. You just fell victim. Just that quick, you fell asleep.
No. Sure.
What I'm saying is, but I am going to try literally Monday. So Monday is the goal. Like, literally do a full week of pescatarian meal. Like, you know, just no chicken, basically. Just no chicken. I'm just gonna say
You can
that.
have chicken. I mean,
No, on the pescatarian meal,
you can't.
You don't.
Before you could have had it, but you just could have had it healthier.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Your chef tried that.
We did. We got some organic chicken and whatnot. It's just something about the wings.
But that deep fried, just be that
Now,
sizzle, that grease.
And he did make me some organic wings. He did make me some, but it was just. No, I'm just saying, like,
it's a big old butt.
No, what I'm saying is it's like he be making them healthy. You know what I'm saying?
She be like, chef, give them in grease for 13
years. They're fried in good grease. You know what I'm saying? Oil, not grease, it's oil.
You go to church. You would go to church and they got fresh grease shit at churches, yo. She know what day they got that 99-cent special. She know.
I'm just saying, he fries them in oil, like a good oil.
She need grease.
Grapeseed oil and canola oil. They all light and, you know.
There's difference in herb.
And he got herbs and
oil.
Like, yeah, what about that grease?
Oh, he needs to fry his and Lord then. That's what he need to.
I mean, you know, I would, you know, just saying like, and then he got herbs and spices and, you know, they all healthy.
She wanted after 12, you know, we left the club full of rum.
And then when he put, you know, he'd be like, we gonna do wings and potatoes, right? So I'm like looking for the crinkly fries or whatever. He makes healthy potatoes with it. Like, I'm sitting up there like, really?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I had to look at it like, hold on, these two things don't mix. you seen Sesame Street, these two things don't go together.
I'm like, come on, like, and he'll sit there, and then he'll add a vegetable to it. Oh my gosh, it just throws everything off. And but you know, I asked God for it.
It's a mix.
Yeah.
But that drive-thru be calling you up.
No, Uber.
Oh my gosh.
It's on automatic.
Take her apps off her phone.
Wow.
Oh, hey babe, how you doing?
As soon as she try to make an order.
And then this is what he will have in the refrigerator. You know, he makes his own sea moss for us, right?
So he makes
he makes his own sea moss, and he is good, right? Okay. But he makes his shakes and all of that. So he has his stuff in the freezer. He be like, you didn't grab one. I'll be like, oh, yeah, I know.
You ain't gonna do right.
Come Monday, I'm going to do right. He said, do not ask him anymore about helping me. You know, he was like, don't solicit my services anymore because you won't do right. He will make my jars, my fruit jars, my salad, all of that. So I'm on my own now. So that's why I'm asking y'all to help me.
No. You're asking us to pay you.
First of all, she just said she had in-house help.
I have, and I asked God for this. That's the bad part about it. I did ask God for, I said, dear God, and this is for real on my vision board. I know. I said, dear God, if you just help me lose this weight, send me somebody who's going to support me.
I just said,
we still haven't got it on the psychological mind game.
Well, y'all keep looking at it like that.
See, I'm telling you, she part Jedi. She trying to write this shit. She in here.
Nelson, you ain't excluded either. I need y'all's help.
I'm sorry.
Every man so in modest here, about it, man over there.
Hey, I'm immune.
Oh my goodness.
Chef, I'm gonna do right.
I'm immune.
Huh? You did send me some recipes, but they were healthy recipes.
Don't agree. Don't say nothing. Don't do it.
They were healthy recipes. He did send me some healthy recipes.
But this is the thing. She gonna hold you to it.
I am, because y'all responsible. It takes a village.
What? Oh my God. Wait a minute.
How you gonna put that responsibility on us?
Did you just hear this?
I'm just saying.
How you gonna put that
It's the mail room. I'm trying to let y'all lead. Okay, which one is it that y'all want?
Excuse me,
what do y'all want? I'm trying to let y'all lead. Which is it? Lead.
Did I hear that correctly? That you lost your first help?
I did what?
You lost your first help? Did I hear that correctly?
What you mean?
The in-house help.
Yes.
No, well, see, my husband is a chef now. He's a chef.
In-house help.
She lost. So you asked for this help because you lost the first.
Chef.
In-house help.
So what I'm saying is he needs help to help me.
Oh, now it's him that needs
Wait,
Because he said he ain't gonna do it no more. So I need y'all to,
I wonder why we answer, Here you go.
I'm gonna need y'all to, y'all get together.
When common sense kick in real hard, they go,
We're gonna come on over to the frat house. Chef, we're gonna go on over to the frat house so you can have some help to help me. Okay?
We got you. We're gonna put it together.
I'm gonna do right. Come Monday though. I am going to do right.
They made a song about that too. They made a song about all this stuff.
People like, don't you want to go walking? I said, yeah. And you know what he did the other day? I asked him, did he want to go walking? Because I'm taking initiative, right? I said, hey, we're gonna go walking. He said, okay, like that. I said, no, I got you. I had my clothes out, my shoes.
I'm ready.
But
with the humility like.
Wait, hold on.
He left me. He got up and left me. It was like going on 11, 12 o'clock at night. I asked him like earlier.
Okay, so you leaving out key components of this story on purpose.
What I'm saying is, I did take the initiative and asked to go walking. I just didn't. I just didn't do it.
You didn't get up.
I didn't.
Did you fall asleep?
I sat on the couch.
Oh gosh, that's even worse.
It is worse. I was convicted of that. And he got up. He was. I said, "Where you go?" He said, "I went walking." I said, "I was gonna walk with you." He was like, "Man, it's midnight. Where were you gonna go walking?"
Chef, I'd have took on a walk. Chef, take up on it.
So what I'm saying is,
what
I'm saying is, help me.
Yep.
So I can be
a better you,
a better me. There you go. I can be a better host of the mailroom.
Okay.
You don't really need your wallet. Please release it, and the next time you don't really need your wallet.
That I mind true.
Please give me all of your passcodes to your account. You don't need your wallet.
It's some darn apps.
We need to take them out.
You believe in me?
So this how we gonna do it. The apps on your phone, just delete them right now.
Yep.
They evil.
You ain't picked up the phone yet.
You okay?
Look at him.
We waiting.
Moving on.
He just asked us to help you.
He didn't start off at the top talking about removing apps.
That's the wrong one.
Who removes apps? Where you can just click and everything is right there. Like I even got a little message. Hey y'all, thank you for picking up my order. Yeah, I respond to them.
They probably put a name.
They do. They do.
Thank you, TaShon.
Oh, see, she's talking about she's very disobedient these days.
Spoken like Moses. He's a disobedient.
I'm disobedient these days. I'm gonna do right. So come Monday for the help that I'm asking for. I'm gonna do right.
You go against the grain.
I'm not gonna go against the grain this time. Because I got to prepare for the,
Okay, so you have to show us that you're going to do right. So that means you have to take your apps off before you leave here.
Take the apps off.
You got to take your apps off before you leave here.
The main one.
The Uber Eats?
Yes.
That's the main one.
If thine deliberate,
yes.
take it away.
Uber does not bring healthy food to you.
If thine deliberate, take it away.
Hey, Chef, you hear it, right?
Let's go to a commercial break because I'm getting. Nelson, take us to I'm all off now. And then ask me.
Put a picture of Uber.
Turn off the mic, Nelson. Turn off the mic. Come on, turn them off. Go to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll take it over with Mr. LaRon. LaRon will take it over. We'll be right back on 101TKORadio.com. Hush. I'm not taking off.
on 101 TKO.
What's up, you guys? We are back in the studio, 101 TKORadio.com, and it is the mailroom. Listen, I got my friends, LaRon, Mr. Takeover, Tank the Sports Guy, and listen, I got my additional friends, the FraatHouse crew. That's who you've been hearing back here, and they about to get kicked out because they done told me to take off.
I was almost about to walk out myself. You're gonna take us to a commercial.
The mailroom about to be dismantled right now because Nelson, he on the ones and twos, but all of them, every last one of them about to be kicked out, y'all. Because they done told me to delete. And the thing about it, y'all on one accord with this. Like, that's how.
Yeah, you just asked us to help you.
No.
You just asked us to help you.
That heard the mind trick.
I did. I just said help me.
Yes, and our first initial, help you is to take your apps off, and you're being.
So y'all all in agreement for me to take off the Uber Eats app.
All of them.
So in the morning.
No.
DoorDash.
What time is it? 11 o'clock.
11.
That's too much easy access.
Yeah, 11 o'clock. We're going to start today. You ask for help.
And we're going to talk to Chef about monitoring your phone. So you got to unlock your phone so we can make sure the maps.
Hold up. That's why I got the face app. That's why the face.
She go to sleep. She go to sleep at night.
With her mind for crazy.
But I am gonna do right because I did ask God to have somebody in my life who's gonna help me to eat right, and He does it. He cooks, sees it, because He's a chef. He provides. I am gonna do. Don't look at me like that, Tank. I am gonna do right.
The fact that you just said that you asked God to bring somebody in your life, and then you didn't do right, so He brought 5, 6, 7 other men into your life to make you do right. So
we here for you.
Yes,
met you more than halfway there.
Y'all all about to get the side eye right now. So before I give up the side eye to every last one of y'all in this room, LaRon, tell us what you got real quick.
It's your boy, Mr. Takeover, and this is our Run It Back segment. And I want to run it back to dating. Before we started the show, we was diving into the fact that as men, because this is the mail room, I want to expose something about us men that we are not doing enough of, and that is dating and showing our younger counterparts, our men, our boys, that dating is okay, not to shun away from the responsibility of a girl or woman or whatnot, but really, if you think about it, as we look at the concept of leading, we mostly think of men. So as a dad, if I'm out here teaching my son that dating is going out and putting his male parts in every female that's running around here, it's causing more conflict than it is more than anything. Courting, definition of dating, I was looking at that, and it's basically going out with someone, taking out, going around with, courting, wooing, go steady with guys that ain't saying nothing about having sex with. And we need to go to the true definition of what dating is. And if you are a man that's married, even if you are being a stepdad, take their mom out, date, show them what dating is. Matter of fact, if you have daughters, take time out, because you are the first male that your daughter meets and should be truly involved with when it comes down to understanding what it means to date. And so the same thing with your sons, hey, so we're going to take your mom and your sister out. We're going to show them what it means. And sex has been so overwhelmed when it comes to courting and dating and in life right now. So I just really want us to take it back. We want to run back to seriously making dating and stop pimping all the boys out here, because they're not pimps, and we shouldn't look for them to be so, having 5, 6, 7 girlfriends and glorifying that.
So you as a married man, do you know how to date? Do you still date your wife?
I still date. Yes, I still date.
Do you date your wife?
Date, touch, all that. In front of my kids.
Okay.
I don't believe in go get. No, I want you to see that I married your mother because I love her. I still love her. Right. And this is how you. I don't care. This is how you act at home. Yes. This is not just because my thing is. It's one thing you see a couple holding hands out in public, but do you do it at home? Mm-hmm. Do y'all have those moments where y'all just walk up to each other and y'all just hug, kiss with no simple, don't even might not even say nothing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, are y'all in relationships?
Well, I'm in the process of getting a divorce.
Okay.
But before that, see, I'm real affectionate and romantic, so I did all that. Okay. And it still wasn't enough.
That's an interesting topic. What about you?
I'm single, but I have been in long-term relationships.
And you dated within?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I want to answer that question. I'm married, but I was single before. And what LaRon was talking about, and let's be real, in our generation, we were as boys taught, hey man, look here. Yeah. Our uncles, they pulled us aside because a lot of us were single parents. So your uncle was that cat that really you vibe with. Yeah. And so I remember him hey, look here. If a girl called you a bum, I need you to go and whip it out and let her know you're grown. Yeah. Like these are the rules you were taught. Yeah. And so when you got in trouble for that, everybody he just being a boy. No. Yeah. Like we were taught that like in our era, copping the field was okay.
It was okay. Yeah, it was okay. Yep.
Yeah. But now flip it 20, 30 years and now you have daughters. Yeah. And you're trying to break that young man's arm off.
Yeah. What are you doing? What you did? Yeah.
And you have to go back and I thank God our kids are not like us. Like our kids, like we were motivated and taught that you got to be out there on the hunt. You that dog in a hubcap fact. I mean, they really and they had you just riled up to the point where you believe in I'm 17 and our job. Hey, and I mean you did wake up and you wake up like that. Yeah. And instead of them. Like we do now, like I encourage myself, say, listen, you don't have to be out there just like, I'm gonna be honest, the way I was taught. That you just that ain't how you know. Yeah. You actually get to know people and actually build relationships. Yeah. And if it don't turn out to be a girlfriend, you never know. That may be like a real cool friend.
Cool friend, never know what happens. Once you cross that line, sometimes it's not. People circle back. You can come back.
You can't. Yeah.
Right.
And also the big thing is, I'm like, they're more health conscious than what we were at that age. And they listen when you tell them, hey, that thing gonna fall off. Yeah. And it's not a joke. It's real. And it's like, whoa, they actually listen to stuff like that. They're much more aware than what we were
being awoke.
Yeah. And I mean, they don't.
I'll say the bigger thing that it actually cuts down on is traumatized girls as well. Because if we're going and we're being sexually active with Kate for 2 hours, then go to another party, and then we got April over there being sexually active with her, and then all this stuff comes out. And who says that all 5 of these girls are not into me like deeply because of the stuff that I just gave them in order to get in their pants? Now I've just started a trauma throughout these whole girls. And now they're going to open the door to other men like myself to come in, and then that starts that generational habit that we've been trying to get away from.
Right.
And not just that, like this younger generation, they let's be honest, they tell everything.
They broadcast everything.
You find out stuff about us 30 years later.
They born snitches.
Right.
They come out and I'm out of the womb. They catch it.
Yeah, way too much.
Right.
We didn't. I mean, you found out now. It's 40 years later. You found you did.
You're right. You're exactly. Like I didn't know you were like that. Yep, I was.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, LaRon, Mr. Take It Back. Take over, Mr. Ron. Thank you for that. We're gonna have to expound on that definitely because again, these relationships now they are different, and the concept of dating is different, and it needs to be redefined. and needs to have some boundaries, because lately in the news is some people have been like literally losing their mind over people in the, they just don't have that conflict resolution. They don't know how to take rejection. Yeah, it's like, where do we draw the line in this dating? So I definitely want to talk more about that on another show and so forth, so we can really, because again, we want the next generation to understand it's okay to date. You're supposed to have fun and this, that, and the other. You're supposed to
recognize the red flag.
Right, recognizing the red flag.
But ain't nobody dating no more, though. That's it. They call it dating.
No, they just sleeping with each other.
No, they love each other in 3 weeks.
You're right.
That's scary.
Well, you know what? Right, yeah. They don't know what love is. When they're constantly saying, "Well, I just love it." That's what it is. Right. They're lusting.
That would scare me as a guy. Even if we, me and the chick did sleep together, for her to tell me I love you in 4 weeks, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah,
wrong,
it's lust. You're right. It's lust. It's like, oh, you cute, I'm cute. Let's get together. This, that, and other. Everybody.
They get sexticized.
Yeah.
That's what it be. They relate a lot of stuff to that. They're like, oh, this was real good.
Right.
I love you.
And the
dating, nothing about them.
And the dating is what they skipping. Like that's what they missing. They didn't skip over that whole part.
Yeah. That's why I cannot stand someone telling me that I can have sex without having any type of form of emotion attached. Sex in general is an emotion form of passing energy. So for me, and hear someone say that, oh yeah, I can have sex without having emotion, I think you're cold-hearted.
Swapping.
Yep.
A whole lot of your 80s, baby.
Yep.
Hey, don't be talking about me like that.
I gotta call our generation out the way I see it. We was wrong. We was. I mean, let's be honest. We were on a different. We have a whole lot of generational curses to break that we were passed down. Let's be honest. Listen, one thing we're gonna be real in here. We were taught some stuff that was straight bunk.
Yeah.
And it was taught because we had a generation of people trying to navigate their new sex realm. And at the same time, you feeding the kids garbage. When you doing that, Mr. Jimmy Lincoln been sitting over there 45 minutes. No, he ain't playing pinochle.
Right.
No, ain't nobody playing spades over there. I ain't hear not one domino in the face.
Right. Yeah. Well, think about it, because they didn't know how to talk. And again, I always say I don't blame parents.
Yeah.
I know we could blame them to a certain extent or whatever, but they were still learning to be parents, and they were just doing what they were taught. Yep. Because if you think about what our grandmothers and great grandfathers and whatnot did, think about it, they didn't talk about sex or whatever. They just knew that that's the girl that I like, I want. We're gonna make a family and be done. So then you have this generation of just continue to do the same thing, and nobody is talking. And that's why, like me and my sister, I was determined to make sure that my niece understood, and we had that open relationship and talk. So now she's 22, but we started talking to her at a young age. And I'm like, I'm that aunt. You can come and talk to me because I've been there. Like, I'm not that aunt to say, oh no, I never did this. No, I experienced some things in college and X, Y, and Z. And the first time we had our talk, she was like, I don't want to hear this. I said, I know you don't want to hear it. I said, but it's the reality, because I don't want you to go out there and be sideswiped by, what's going to happen. I said, because this is reality. You're going to have feelings. You're going to meet people. You know what I'm saying?
We had to take the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
And the reason, and I understand why my wife did it, is because the world doesn't have a Band-Aid.
No, not at all.
When you have a child, in our community, our girls seem to grow up a lot faster than our boys. So we have to equip them with these tools and let them know, hey, I'm straight up with them. I'm like, listen, sweetheart, you are beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't care what he say. I promise in his mind, he's thinking about touching you.
Yeah.
I said, so please don't let these little boys fool you.
Yeah.
I said, I understand they're trying to be on their best behavior. But I said, but I was 50. Your daddy was 15 once.
Yeah. And then you have to be honest with the girl. Like I'm honest with my niece. I'm like, now if you put yourself in, and I tell her, don't put yourself in these type of situations. I say it goes both ways.
Yes,
I said, do not mislead a guy. You know, you say no, you say no, and you be gone and leave that situation. I said, don't sit there and play. And I told her and her friends that. I said, do not play with anybody. I said, if you want to have sex, that's fine. Use protection because y'all are young adults. I know y'all gonna do it. However, right. But if you're gonna sit there and you're gonna start and you stop and this, that, and other, I said, you're wrong. Don't do it. You remove yourself from that situation. And that's what because we continue to put the blame on the boys and the young men, but we're not telling the truth to these girls. And I know people are like, what's this? No, not this, nothing, because I've been in those situations. I've seen women put themselves, and that's a whole nother show as well. So you have to have those serious talk with your youngsters. At a young age. You know, you have to tell them the consequences. Yeah. If you're gonna have sex, this comes with a consequence and responsibility. X, Y, and Z. Don't do X, Y. So this is, I mean, again, and remember, we didn't have those talks. As I know, my parents didn't have those talks. Like my dad would be like, don't go with no boy, you know, a boy gonna do this, that, and another. You know what I'm saying?
What was that birds and bees talk? It was just sex, and that's it.
You can't play.
It was straight bang.
You can't play both sides of the fence with a boy on that because they already thinking about that, already trying to do that anyway. So that's a good point you made. You can't like play around.
Yeah, we had to have that honest talk, and her friends were like, I'm like, yeah, I know y'all play games. I said because I was once your age, and I said we had a group of girlfriends your age. I said, but you don't do that because you can ruin someone's life. And they don't have that intention. I said, there are good and bad in everybody. I said, but a lot of times the miscommunication. And we sit here and we play these games. You cannot do that. So, you know, I just encourage people just to have that talk, that dating talk, and just be open now. Like, I'm an open person. I'm a transparent person. Yeah. But now is not the time to be secretive. You know, it's too much that's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to protect your youngsters, I'm not a parent, but I am that auntie. And I always encourage people, if you can't talk to your child, send them on over to me. I'm going to steer them in the right direction. But I don't want us to sugarcoat because everybody's getting wrapped up in these relationships and they're going left with these relationships when you're like killing each other and, you know, you're being possessed of something ain't right.
But you know, but you know, the thing is we have to be truthful though. We know already, number one, that there's some kind of issue going on.
Go out, go around.
We know that there's some kind of psychological issue there. We know that there's some kind of mental issue there. But we still like just the basics. Like we're not teaching our kids how to recognize things in other people.
Right.
Like, we don't teach them teach your kids the basics, how to recognize a person, how to actually see that person.
You have to.
Right.
And when we don't, we end up what we end up with, and we can't get mad. Yeah. We're not teaching our kids this, or they're looking at us because we're not doing it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Half of the parents that have kids don't even know what to look for.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
They don't know what to look for.
Right.
How many children do you have?
3.
Yeah, 3. Okay, what's your oldest?
30.
30. Okay. So do you see your parenting different from your oldest to your youngest in the talks and whatnot?
It's the same.
It's the same. Okay.
Because I don't sugarcoat. Because my mother never sugarcoated anything with me. It was this is life. It ain't friendly. It would eat you up. And see, I have my son with me because I want him to experience and see stuff like this.
Right.
I give it to him straight raw.
Okay.
You know?
Wow. Even at 8, you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
I feel the same way. Like I love that point right there. That sugarcoating is like poison.
Yeah.
That's doing them a disservice. Especially like you say, how the world is today. Yeah. It's even more so we got to tell them the truth about what's going on. And I also like what this brother said earlier about showing them an example of how to treat a woman, how he treats their mother in front of them and stuff like that. Yeah. I came up like that too. Okay. My father and mother been married as long before I was born.
Gotcha.
So I've seen that good example of, I learned my example of how to treat women from my father.
And let me say this, it's not that, and they see the negative. They see when we are, like, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. They see when we argue, have conflict, but I want them to see, and I'll do it in front of them. I will come, look, I understand we blah, blah, blah. But they'll see me come and make up with mom. And they're like, y'all, I said, yeah, you don't, I'm not upset at the situation. I'm upset with the situation, not with mom. And so if we get into it, yes, I'm going to always come back and apologize to her. Yes, I'm going to always come back. And I want them to see that side too. Yeah. I'm not perfect.
One of the viewers said they put a question mark by raw. So I'm assuming they want you to explain, what do you mean by raw? When you're talking to your children, what do you mean by you giving them the raw version?
Not holding back.
Just being honest. Right. Just being honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't give them the glory stuff, but I just be honest with them. You know, like you were just saying, like I argue with my son, my mom, or whatever. Yeah. But I also explain to them.
Yeah.
Now, what I mean by raw, this is how I gave it to my daughter raw. We were in the room talking, and mom was in there, and we were trying to explain to her what we were doing. Yeah. And so she was sitting there with her head down, all lackadaisical. So I walked to the door and I slammed it shut, and she jumped. I said, "That's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to avoid you going into a room and hearing that door slam and you can't get out." Yeah. And she just looked at me, and she just started. I said, "I'm not trying to traumatize, but that's the truth. Every father wants to avoid their daughter being put in a position where that door closed, and you have no control."
Right. Listen, you guys, we have already jumped into the talk and conversation. So when we get back, we are going to continue to chat with the frat house. We're going to officially introduce, because it's just been family, like just jumping in. We just all talking or whatever. But we're going to take a quick music break. And when we get back, we're going to talk some more with the men of the mailroom, y'all. So stay tuned. 101TKORadio.com. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
And welcome back, you guys. It is 101 TKO Radio. We are live in the studio with the mailroom. I got my friends, LaRon, Mr. Takeover, Tank the Sports Guy, Nelson on the ones and twos, and I got my special friends in the building. They were about to get kicked out, though, for real. They were about to take off, but you know, they good people. They good people. They good people. So let me introduce you to y'all. Because they told me to take off the Uber Eats. But now, y'all, I want y'all to help me to officially, because they've been chiming in, we've been talking, but officially welcome the FraatHouse crew. I'm so glad to meet y'all finally. We met them through Chelsea and Nelson, and they have. Let me tell y'all, you know, I'm big on. I am that person that will continue to give people props for supporting.
Yes.
We just met, you know, and it's been a short time, but I can honestly say y'all have been supporting the mailroom from the start right here on 101 TKO Radio, and I do not take that lightly, and I appreciate y'all, and just definitely know that y'all that y'all have the mailroom support for the FraatHouse and so forth. So welcome to the mailroom. Tell us who you are and what you all do. It's only two of y'all, it's three of y'all, right?
Well, actually, we just expanded.
Okay, cool. So tell us who you are and what y'all do.
I'm Curtis Kane. We are a podcast.
Okay.
I'm a co-host.
Okay.
You know, on there, and just getting on the mic and talking these conversations.
Yeah.
And doing our podcast, and it's a beautiful thing. It's just the introduction, so I ain't gonna dive too deep into it. Let my brother introduce himself.
I go by the name Big Sebo. I'm a co-host and the engineer of the show.
Okay.
So yeah, we got a live podcast. It's raw, uncut.
Y'all raw. Y'all raw and uncut. Y'all are raw and uncut.
We gotta be with you.
I love it. Yeah.
Not now though. Keep it clean.
We try to talk to people like you in your own home setting. So we just keep it all the way live.
I like it. What how did y'all get started with that?
You want me to tell the origin? We originally just started this out just clowning amongst ourselves. We had a music studio.
Okay.
We was doing music, but then we started going live.
Okay.
And it was natural. It was organic how it happened. We just kicking it.
Yeah.
The fellas kicking it. We having good conversations amongst ourselves.
Right.
But we was going live playing music while we was having these conversations.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine, a female friend of mine, she was like, checking us out on live, and she was like, y'all acting like y'all in a frat house or something, like the way y'all party and drink and have
I was gonna ask that question where frat guy came from.
Right.
It clicked. It was like a light bulb. We was like, frat house.
Yeah.
So we sat at the table like we all in agreement.
Right.
Yep. So that's the acronym king.
So now
it's
an acronym because I'm big on acronyms.
Yeah.
So after we decided to name it FraatHouse, I put a little more onto it to make it an official podcast. It's factual, random, artists, and adult topics.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that's what, because people ask me all the time.
I love black men.
Because people ask me all the time, what frat are y'all in?
Right.
Yeah.
That's my question.
Real frat.
Because you here in Atlanta.
Acronym and a theme.
Yeah. You here in Atlanta. Everybody Greek.
I was just talking to somebody about that. There's an issue because like men don't talk like men to each other no more.
Yeah, that's the purpose of the mailroom. Like I want y'all to be able to have a safe space. And it seems like the FraatHouse is a safe space for men. Again, y'all having the real raw, uncut talk. I get it. I really do. And whereas the mailroom, I have to cater to my grandmama and granddaddy them at that age. You know what I'm saying? But I get it because y'all do need a safe space to talk. And I do notice that when I chime in, y'all are just talking. So this is like what y'all do, just chilling and talking.
Yeah, it's real organic. Yeah. It's really what we was already doing. Yeah. We just structured it a little bit and made it a real podcast.
To the people. Yeah. A lot of conversations people is afraid to have and don't have.
That's true. That is so true.
And as they always say, calm down, Sibo. Because I'm the rawest out the bunch.
Okay.
If it come up, it come out. And it's just real.
You from Detroit, right? That's what you said.
Yeah. We are.
Oh, y'all are all from Detroit.
The entire original FraatHouse podcast is all Detroit.
So that up north. Y'all, my Detroit friends in college. Yeah.
Shout out to 313.
Yeah, that up north. Ohio, Detroit,
But you can see I got my Hawks on. I show y'all love here too. We got a lot of love for the A.
I thought I had Preston follow buttons on Preston and not though.
Oh yes, y'all make sure y'all go over on IG and follow the FraatHouse. Are y'all on Facebook too?
Facebook.
Okay.
That's the only one that's spelled different.
Okay.
It's FraatHouse and the word 2020.
Oh, on Facebook. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
And make sure y'all spell frat with 2 A's. FRAAT.
Everything else.
I just had that issue.
FraatHouse 11.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, I like that concept because again, I really believe, especially in this day and era, is y'all are facing so much as men, as Black men. Like you need that safe space just to be you. How hard is that these days? Or being that y'all in the same generation, is it easier or is it getting worse for y'all just to be yourself and just to be like, you know what? I want to talk about the good times. I want to talk about like what we used to do and not be like, how is it for y'all?
Harder.
Really?
Yeah. Because we're in a generation where people are so sensitive.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if nobody teaches you how to have conversations among men, how to interact with other men, how will you know how to do that when you grow up?
Yeah.
You won't.
And that's why we have so much conflict among young Black men.
Yeah.
We're not taught how to interact with each other. We're taught how to fight each other. We're taught how to outdo each other.
Outdo.
But you know what? Oh, go ahead, brother.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, piggybacking off of Tank. Yeah, we're not taught to help each other. That's something that's being taught more on the woman standpoint. We're always in competition. For us, definitely as Black men, we're in competition. We're trying
on everything.
Everything.
Really?
Every car stereo, who's loud?
Yes.
Really?
Everything.
So because of that, everything.
That's how we show what our worth is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything y'all saying is true, but because it's more difficult now, because it's harder, we go harder, and that's what we do in the FraatHouse. Like, we go hard to get certain messages across, especially like to the youth or whatever. We don't sugarcoat, we keep it raw, but it's always an underlying positivity to what we do and what we speaking of. You know, we just have to give it to them in a raw way.
Language is
that's all they understand.
Because that is the truth. Like, you know, a lot of, I was talking to my brothers. I have 3 brothers, and of course, my family is really made up of a lot of guys. And, you know, and again, the purpose of the mailroom is to listen, to actually listen to y'all. Because again, we as women, we can only do so much for the guys in our family and so forth. But when I remember being the big sister and, you know, I'm trying to talk to my brothers and, hey, let's try to do this point and let's go this route. And I had a guy to come, he was like, they ain't listening to you. Because first of all, you coming to them like you're a mother. You're coming to them like you're a teacher or elsewhere. They need to hear the truth of stuff. And I'm just like, well, what's the truth? And they were like, not what you're talking about. And even as a teacher in the classroom, I always had more boys. And I had to have my male teachers to be like, no, they fine. Like I literally had a male teacher to tell me, like my girls, I trained them. And they were like, see, you bringing up, you teaching them little women on fire. And I said, what you mean? You teaching them how to be independent, but you're enabling the boys. Because I would, you know, I can't button up, I can't zip up my pants. So automatically I'm trying to help them. So the male teachers are like, stop, let them do it. And I'm like, no, but they can't do it. let them figure it out. Yeah. And I had to literally step back, and I'm sitting there looking at the boys struggling, but then I started getting it. I said, even as female teachers, we enable the little boys, and we don't allow y'all to do what you're supposed to do, because we're trying to, I guess we're looking at it like, oh, y'all being too hard, but
that's the nurturing of a woman. That's,
you want to know what
mechanism that automatically kicks in with a woman.
Yeah.
But do you know what happens in real African tribes?
Yeah.
They take the boys from you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
At the age of, what is it, 10?
Yeah.
10 or 12? They take them from you because at that point, there's enough nurturing. It's now time to become a man.
Yeah.
So my cousin said we have tried harder at shifting the mindset from competition, European-centered concept, to cooperation, African-centered concept. I like that. We do. We need to change that mindset, shift that mindset, because it shouldn't be a competition. We should be in here helping each other. Like, that's what you're supposed to be. Your tribe is supposed to do is help the next generation, because it's really sad. And again, being an educator that taught the majority of boys in my classroom, and if that's all they see are the females all day helping them and doing things for them, and then they get out into the real world, then they're like, they don't know what to do.
I'm gonna tell you what this does, and I don't think people really look at it as so wide of a range as this, where we talk so much about how girls mature faster than boys, but this is the reason for that is the male aspect. We're teaching how to be the boys to be aggressive and sports oriented and being that boy, that guy, that man in that aspect. But when it comes to cleaning behind yourself, making sure your hygiene is great, health wise, mom, if dad's not in the picture with that because he's not in tune with his emotions and whatnot, so mom is babying him majority of the time versus while the daughter is learning how to clean, how to cook. Well, I can't say that for some of these girls these days.
And cater to the guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you guys are maturing definitely emotionally faster, because only thing that we're allowed to mature in is sports oriented type things, Going right back to what you they was fussing at you about with teaching them how to, the moms is buttoning the son's clothes and all this instead of, so if you
I just wanted my boys to be uniform. That's all. I just didn't want them to
but that's not, but you're not allowing them
because they were struggling.
You're not allowing, but that's the reason for them struggling, is because they're not being allowed to learn something, and you have to. We often.
So we are supposed to allow y'all to struggle.
You have to. Really? It's not considered struggling.
You're gonna learn. Don't do that again.
We call it struggling. We call it struggling and failing, but it should not be called that. It's learning a lesson. It's a teaching lesson.
It's like anything else. You learn better when you hands on.
Little boys are physical,
and I'm gonna tell you, like men are physical. Even with my son, he'd be like, "I can't." I'd be like, "Well, stand there. Don't ask me. Figure it out."
Yep.
Take a break. Walk away from it. Come back to it and figure it out.
So you've already shown him, and then now he has to apply it, and you're allowing him to do it.
Yeah.
Well, some things I'll show him, and some things I just throw him in there. And tell him to figure it out. I make him think. And he's sitting right here.
Thinking. Okay.
I say, think before you do anything. Think about it.
Okay. Gotcha.
And he ate, like, I tried to give him a ride his bike. He said, nah. I failed 2-3 times. He said, I ain't ready. So I said, well, your bike out there.
Right. Right.
He wanted to skate.
Yeah.
He fell down the stairs a couple times. And he looked at me. I said, what you crying for? Get up. You going to fall? Get up. He taught himself how to skate. So I'm not worried about him learning how to ride his bike. Because when he first got it, I took the training wheels off. We ain't going to teach you with training wheels.
Really? Yeah. You let him ride with the 2 wheels?
What's wrong with that?
You know what?
All right, so it goes right back to what we was talking about.
Somebody rode a bike without it. Somebody rode a bike without it.
It goes back to us defining the dating. We also have to stop defining failing or learning a lesson as failing, because in order for you to get it, you have to. Some folks just don't get stuff like that. You have to keep trying, and so we've made
stop thinking failure as being negative.
Yes, we've made failing negative. So I don't want to fail, so I ain't gonna try.
It's part of the learning process.
Yeah. She don't say no a few times.
Stop taking rejection negative. It's a part of life.
My son just 15. Give it to him uncut. Listen, she gonna tell you, gonna look you in your eye and tell you no. It's a part of life. Get over it. It's gonna happen. Your heart gonna get broken. It's a part of the deal.
That's why this generation's so sensitive, because we not telling them that. This is normal. It's a part of life. Don't worry about it. Get back up and keep going.
You know what I did for my son? I gave him Bob Marley, No Woman, No Cry. I said, think about that.
Right.
I said, when you choose to deal with a woman, I said it's gonna be a part of life. It's gonna be a part.
So when you say that this generation is more sensitive, explain that to me.
Soft.
They sensitive. They soft. The reason why is because they're not being prepared correctly, and the narrative has been changed. Like he was saying, and like everybody in the room is saying, you have to show them that failing at something or rejection or not getting it right, that's a part of life. Keep going.
They don't take no for an answer.
What I mean? You don't have to be crushed every time you don't do something the right way, or every time somebody says no.
Don't that scare y'all that these kids fold? Like I actually see quit, and that's a scary.
That's mental weakness. That's weakness.
If you tell them no,
because I know my husband. He talks about how like they're quick to pick up guns versus fighting. And so and I started looking at it. I said, it's like because they're sensitive, saying their feelings. They say in their feelings, and because they're quick to pick, because you're looking at the gun violence that's increasing here in Metro Atlanta, and a lot of it is the kids, the young guys just pick up guns and versus fighting.
It's really elementary though, because it goes back to what we just said. You already soft and sensitive. Then you ain't trying to get into.
But you gotta look at it too.
Confrontation.
A lot of fathers is being taken out the house.
That's a big part of it.
Because it's some women.
A lot of fathers missing.
And there's some women that's just falling into that trap, like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. I don't need a man. You need a man. You know, so
some man.
It don't have to always be the dad. It can be an uncle.
It was my uncle. My granddad. Hey, look here. I need to give you your hood card. Why? Because if I don't, something gonna happen. And they recognize that your mom is a single mother and she cannot do this on her own. And they recognize, they're like, listen, if we don't teach him, something gonna happen to nephew.
Because we was taught a different way. Like that wasn't even a thought to pick up a gun when I was coming up. You get into a fight, you're gonna win, lose, or draw.
Hey,
you get back up, you get your respect.
Tomorrow might be getting it again.
You know what I mean?
So help me to understand. So that is really supposed to be taught. Like just you fight.
Conflict resolution.
Right. So that is part of the conflict resolution. If you can't talk it out, let's box it out or whatever.
No, it goes back to the resolution later. You might have fought somebody in school or whatever. Guess what? You still got to go to school with that person every day.
Right.
Eventually, y'all gonna come together and solve that conflict and talk it out. Or you're not gonna mess with each other at all, but you still, both people live, and both people go on with their lives. You still got to be around that person.
Because when I was teaching, a lot of the issues in the school with the kids when they were fighting was results of neighborhood conflict, and so they would bring it on over to the school, and of course the families would get it, and then next thing you know, somebody then got shot and killed because they did not resolve it. And I'm like, but y'all already had a physical fight, so what is it? Like y'all just wasn't through with it, or what? Like it just, I'm not understanding. So listen, when we come back, we're gonna take a quick music break, commercial break. And when we come back, we're gonna continue this conversation because again, this is part of the movement for the frat house and the mail room and all of the positive guys in our lives. We want to see our lives. I don't know. It's just amazing to me. So just stay connected with 101TKORadio.com. We'll be right back.
The Mailroom with TaShon and Friends on 101 TKO Radio.
And we are back live on 101TKORadio.com. Listen, this is the Mailroom, and we have with us today the FraatHouse crew. I am so happy to have them. And we are talking about just things in life, especially with the men, because this is the Mailroom, and we the purpose of the show is to have a safe space for our men, because you know, as women, we always have conferences and girl talks and whatnot, but we don't have enough safe spaces for y'all to have that talk with about life and situations and so forth. And before we left, we were talking about the latest generation, the generation that they're very emotional, they're very sensitive and so forth, and they really react out of their emotions. They don't really take the time to resolve their conflict, and they're quick to pick up guns and resort to violence and so forth. And I know, LaRon, you wanted to speak on something.
Yeah. Like the last comment before, hey baby, my wife responded, your cousin, when she was like staying in their feelings. I think, me personally, and it's just my opinion, that's something that we don't do enough of when it comes to men staying in our feelings, because we're not being taught to express, to sit in our feelings and understand what we are feeling. Because a lot of these kids nowadays, you ask them, you know, what made you do something like that? They can't even explain to you. One, the world is teaching our kids, which something that we need to try to counterattack, is it is okay to be told no to.
Yeah.
And because once you get a no, or heck, it's even with adults, you tell them no, it's just, they just automatically just go crazy, and it goes to the killing and whatnot.
Yeah.
So having a boy stay like being emotionally aware and being in his feelings and understanding and trying to walk him through, what are you feeling and why are you feeling that way, and let's see what we can do to not cause, what can we do to not cause you to go into that place. Because for me, I can sit and I can understand, and not to go deep into it, because I'm reading Will's book, Will Smith's book, and I can understand, because I was that boy where I didn't see my dad like physically hit my mom, but the verbal abuse, when my mom got cancer and I was the child only at the house, and I had to take care of my mom, scared that I wake up one morning my mom was dead. It caused me to start feeling resentment towards my dad, because I really felt like my dad should have been there, not me. I'm a child. I shouldn't be doing things like this. And so I didn't know how to maneuver through all these forms of emotions. But for me to go talk to another man at the age, man up, you know, get out your feelings, And so we're not being taught to maneuver through all these feelings that the world gives us, because we supposed to be men, and men are not in tune with their emotions. So I don't think it's just a sense that the world is just sensitive. It's just we don't respect others and how they feel. And this is a freedom, freedom of speech and whatnot. So we just don't respect others, pretty much.
And I know that they're starting to do in school now. They have what we call social emotional learning, and it's a good segue. However, the issue is there's not enough time in the day to tackle these issues especially with our Black kids.
And that's done at home.
And and it can't be done at home if you don't know how to do it at home.
They don't make time.
So what they did, they incorporated social emotional learning in class. You only given a block to, go through.
But then there's a piece that's missing, because like one of the things I have an issue with is the fact that they consider this thing now they're calling the toxic male behavior. And it's basically you're acting too much like a male. You're too masculine. You're too this. You're talking to someone who was raised a masculine male. So how else do you want me to be?
Right.
Yeah. And then I'm wrong for passing this down to my sons, who I want to be responsible masculine men, leaders, because that's still neat. I don't care. What the world says.
And that's my question to you all as Nelson, you have son, you just have daughters. You have son, you have son.
A son and a daughter.
And LaRon, you have a son. So I've asked other men about this, especially in the world that we're living in today. Let's keep it real. How is it raising your sons now? Because again, you made that point. I've heard people say, "Oh no, you're not supposed to. He's a boy, and you're not supposed to teach him this, that, and other, and this, that." But at the same time, you're trying to teach them how to be responsible young men and so forth, because the world is cruel. And let's keep it real. It's different for Black boys. You know what I'm saying? So how are y'all raising? Is it difficult raising your sons now?
Very. Because you have to balance out. You understand that you have to add the emotional element, which I do. I mean, I don't have any. I tell myself all the time, there's nothing wrong with you telling another man I love you. There's no. I said that's all BS that was put on by whoever to put you against this other man. Because the thing is, if I greet you in love, what are we arguing about? There is no argument. There is no confrontation, no conflict. You just got some brothers sitting around just kicking.
To piggyback on what he was saying, like I want to dispel that myth as well. Being a man, and when I say maybe they too soft or too sensitive, I'm not saying they shouldn't express themselves. To this brother's point right here, like he made an excellent point. I used to tell my kids, even in discipline, I would still let them speak. I would still tell them, hey, you got the floor now. After I say what I had to say to them, now you got the floor. Tell me how you feel.
I like that.
Why you did what you did. Express yourself. I would allow them to do that.
Good.
Because being a real man is not just being tough and being masculine. It's way more to it than that.
I say that's like when I raise him and I tell him, you can come and tell me anything.
Okay.
I say you can tell anybody. Your feelings, as long as with respect. I say respect the person always, and you get the respect. But if you feeling some kind of way, you feel like someone said something wrong to you or disrespect you, let them know. Like when he get his feelings and he cry, some men be like, "Well, what you crying for?" I be like, "If I hurt your feelings, come here. Now, let me tell you something. I love you. I'm telling you this. I'm teaching you. Because we went to drum practice. And he got frustrated. And he's like, "Oh, I missed a beat." I'm like, "It's okay." So he's like, "Well, you yelled at me, you mean?" I'm like, "Hold on." I said, "Who told you I was mean?" I said, "I'm not mean. I'm teaching you. Don't give up. Don't quit. It's called practice." You can ask him right now. Practice make what? Practice make what?
There you go. There you go. I love that, because again,
I love that too. I appreciate that.
I really do, because again, I hate that we have to, there ain't no good Black men and Black men this and that. But no, y'all are teaching your sons, and for some reason, we have allowed the world to say, no, that ain't the way you're supposed to be doing it. No, actually, we're out of order. We're supposed to allow y'all to do this, because again, if we want them to grow up to be healthy guys who's going to eventually get into healthy relationships, it has to start with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So allowing him to speak, allowing them to express themselves, that's good, because now he can take that back to his classroom. And if he has a conflict with another student or whatever, they're going to either hash it out by talking, or if they get into a fight, but they know not to pick up a gun and resolve that, So again, it starts at home, and it starts with those conversations. And I applaud y'all for that. I really do. And that's something that I'm big on. It's like, no, there are men that are teaching their sons. And we don't give y'all enough credit. So from the mailroom, from me to y'all, thank y'all for doing that, because as a teacher that, again, for 28 years that taught in the same zip code, and I've watched young boys go through these cycles of frustration, cycles of hurt, pain, cycles of violence, because nobody really said, I'm not going to say nobody, there have only been a few people, and that's usually the teachers, you know what I'm saying? Or if you get a good police officer in the community that said, no, this is not the way to do it. We got to find some other, and sports may not be all to it, you know, and I know you talk about that as being a sports person. It may not be, like you said, it's not just about sports. There are other ways to resolve your conflict and whatnot, but it starts with y'all. And I really love this conversation, and I just love the fact that y'all are Black men. Y'all are
and the first
regular Black men. You know,
thing they need to see is images.
Right.
Of Black men.
Yeah, keeping it honest.
Coming together, conversing.
Right.
And the image of, you know what? Because let's be honest, you see more physical violence. Images on TV among Black men.
That's done on purpose.
Definitely
it's done on purpose. It's done on purpose.
That's the purpose of the mailroom. It's like, no, I know, and again, if I'm being raised by a father, I got 3 brothers, I got a husband, Black men around me, y'all ain't bad. Y'all doing what you're supposed to be doing. And I don't get that. Like,
it's just like music. Why you don't hear music like The Roots or Common, you know, or music like that anymore, like the Public Enemy type music. They took all that out because that positive energy that it was giving, it was showing that men could be strong and also emotional, and that emotional standpoint of it doesn't come from hate or anything, it comes from love. So now they've changed that with the drug dealer, the womanizer, and so it's a narrative that they're pushing. And I think it's even sadder that, because I had to tell my son this, and he raps, and I was trying to get him to understand, like, you know, create your own lane. But his response was I have to do what the trend is because that's the only way that I'm going to get my money. And so that's what's
sad.
Being,
that's sad, because we haven't reinforced that you don't have to do that. You know, I tell my niece I said every trend that's brought up is not good. It may not good for you. You know,
that's done by design as well.
Exactly.
What you said about the music. You basically explained the difference between hip hop and rap.
Right.
Because, you know, hip hop was a culture, and we were being taught that some of the artists that you mentioned, that's what I was raised on. So I was hearing that good content, that positivity, and I was learning that out of the home as well as having a father at home.
But you know what, though? I take that for the record, for the music business, as I can tell the difference, because those cats not getting banned and censored.
Right.
I remember KRS-One caught flack from Nike when he said, if they don't give back, shut them down.
I talk about that all the time. Censorship
they used to
was heavy when
KRS
was positive.
I mean, Luke got banned. So you can tell who's making real hip hop music.
They even talked about that. It's on YouTube, on Thugs and Harmony. They did a whole YouTube about the music.
Censorship
right. They were talking about how the music, and that's why I'm an advocate of, you tell people how. Your household, when you're in your household, you control what you pipe through your home. Music, TV. It's all a game. Well, my son, and they just want to watch it. If you look through that stuff and you really look at it for what it is, you are in control within your home. So listen, when we get back, we're going to continue this talk with the FraatHouse crew in the mailroom, live right here on 101 TKORadio.com. Stay connected. We are back live at 101TKORadio.com. I need you all to tune in. Listen, we are in the building with the FraatHouse crew. Yo, we are chopping it up, having good conversation about life and being that next generation. Talking about the generation and just being proactive in raising them, because again, it doesn't make any sense for us to talk about them and be like, y'all, we're responsible. We're responsible as a generation to a degree to continue to teach them. We can't change the world altogether, but if we did it one person at a time, as we were having a conversation, you all in your homes are teaching your sons and your daughters, and that's where it starts, because now the responsibility is left on teachers. The responsibilities are left on everybody else except for the parents. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. Parenting is tough and it's difficult. I'm not a parent. I'm an auntie. I am that auntie. Like, y'all can have the parent. Y'all are good parents. Kudos. Mommy. I'm the auntie. I don't want to be the aunt mommy, because I'll be like, I done beat every last one of y'all. I'm taking my belt off. So, but I mean, I have to give y'all kudos, because I know in this world, I'm looking at half the stuff and I'm just like, my God, like the stuff that is going on that you have to shield your children from, that you have to constantly have these talks about, and then you're trying to do the right thing. You don't want to offend people, but at the same time, you're like, but that's wrong, and you don't want to offend folks or this, that, and the other. So my hats go off to all of y'all parents. I don't know how y'all do it, but my hat
get to that teenage age where you can't shield it.
Right, right.
My kids are teenagers, and they're at the point now where we're together, and what I see, they see. So there's no more shielding. Like they're young adults now. They're at the age now where, they're looking at the world for what it really is. And I can't sit there and and do that little lie. No, I have to be honest with them. Hey, you make the world what you make the world.
I saw a post of my friend. She said, now you have to teach not just the birds and the bees, but the birds and birds, bees and bees, bees, birds, bees. And when you start looking at it, you're like, you're right. You have to teach all of that now, and then have this conversation with your children and be like, so, even in the classroom, like we're having to teach that too. And I'm just be like, that's one reason I went on to retire, because y'all ain't about to get Miss Collard Green caught up at nothing. You are a boy in my room. You are a girl in my room. I'm going to call you by your birth name. So if you want to sue me, you're not going to get nothing from me.
The thing, though, how can you sit there and get mad at a child who's 5? Because they don't want to identify with what you want them to identify as.
Let me tell y'all, it's coming down the pipeline to Georgia. It already started.
The point is that conversation shouldn't even be happening at that
age. It should not.
Can we go back to doing mud pies and
Let me tell y'all. And that's why they're putting it out on the teachers. We have to teach that. Believe it or not, the sex ed is not like our sex ed. Like, we literally have to teach the gender roles, this, that, and other. And it's like, And I had a moment with some children in my room like that. And I had to have that conversation with their parent. I'm sitting there like, dear God, please. Like, it was an uncomfortable conversation. But again, everybody wants, because we're trying to please everybody. And we're just out of order. Y'all will hear me say that all the time. We're out of order as the world.
Our generation, we were isolated, and I think that was best. The only adult content came from your parent or whoever's raising you, your immediate family. Other than that, there was no adult content.
Let me be real. There was no adult content, because if you were in that room, you got slapped on up out of there.
Right. So you didn't know about any of this. Kids were being exposed to too much.
They are. They are.
Not heard.
Yeah, they are exposed to a lot of
what they promote. We just got finished talking about being open and not being secretive, and the stuff that we need to talk about. That's not what we're talking about. This stuff here, this is something that they like promoting and pushing outside of being honest and not being vindictive towards each other and bullying and all this stuff, but they making, and this is not to offend anybody, and I get, you feel the way that you feel, and I respect that, but the fact that you can sit and make the laws that you're making with no problem and tell us that we have to abide by them, but then you look at a person of my color as unhuman and you can't change any laws when it comes to me being black. It's hard for you to even think to making it more easier for me to get any form of loans as easy as you can get. But you want me to sit up here and say, if this person identifies as a particular person, I have to abide by that with no problem. I that's where I see a problem. I see that unfairness of that. I don't mind if you feel that way, you feel that way. But don't shun me for being black.
I don't want to recognize my identity.
Right. It does. When you think about it, you could change your entire identity, but you won't even give a felon a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like you would give them, you just won't give them a chance. But I can change who I am, and I'm giving a whole new life.
And make you recognize me.
And like I tell people, just check your birth certificate. If you were born before a certain year, do you see on your birth certificate what they thought you were? Mine says Negro.
Can you hear me now, Plush?
My birth certificate doesn't say black male. It says Negro.
Oh yeah, mine does. Mine says Negro.
So
yours says black.
Let me check my license. Hold on.
My birth certificate says Negro. California, it says Negro.
Wow. Mine says Negroid.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
wow.
I never heard that.
I have the copy. I have the original copy. And to this day, like we all look at it like, wow. And the thing is, the parish, because in Louisiana we don't have counties, we have parishes. The parish I was born in was never free by Emancipation Proclamation.
Right.
Never.
Right. So you're a Negroid.
Somebody say they own me. Come get me if you can. Come get me.
The mail room, y'all, live with the FraatHouse crew. We are chopping it up with good conversation. And again, this is part of that the mail room, and of course y'all's podcast where you can talk freely about things that are happening, because again, we don't go back home and be like, oh, okay, we cool, keep it going. No, these are conversations that you have to have on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying?
We tap dancing around all these conversations.
Yeah, we do. We tap dance because we don't want to, like you said, we don't want to offend anybody, or we don't want to be like, well.
The thing is, you can't offend somebody because this is our black experience.
Yeah.
We live it every single day.
Yeah.
You can't offend. You can't offend. It's no way to offend. Like this one lecturer said, she asked a crowd of white people, raise your hand if you want to be treated like black people are treated.
Oh yeah, you talking about
exactly.
And nobody really
I saw that
clip.
She
said, "Why?"
Because they don't want to. They know the truth.
I saw that clip.
They know. You don't want to be
and that's why when I'm speaking in truth, and especially if I know it's healthy, what I'm bringing to you and it's positive, and it's gonna push your life in the right direction. I don't care if you offend me.
Exactly. And how can teaching other men how to coexist and how can that? The thing is, they don't want it because it opens up dialogue. It opens up
there you go. I often say they only get offended when it opens up dialogue.
Right. And
they don't want to talk about it.
So many of those. Right. Because we choose not to be human. You know, we greet each other with aggression and eye each other down first before we have a conversation. Oh, what? Why?
Yeah.
Right.
That's true. The FraatHouse crew and the mail room, y'all. We are live in the studio, 101 TKO Radio.com. Lisa said Jane Elliott did the race experience. I love her.
I love that.
Familiar with that?
If you haven't seen that, you need to watch that. That is a great experience.
That was real dope.
She put it together.
Facts.
Right, exactly. It's black and white. Literally, it's like there's no sugarcoating around it.
Sometimes you have to give it to people that way. From a different.
That's raw. That's what when we say raw. That's what we mean about raw. You have to.
Exactly. So let me turn the table just a tad bit. Have y'all ever dealt with racism?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since
all the way.
Since on the birth certificate.
You took me back to my childhood. That's the first thing. Like one of my first experiences with it. I was CJ's age over here. I was like 8 years old.
Really?
Riding my bike. In Detroit, I stay on the border. I grew up on a street called Alta Road.
Okay.
It was like a borderline. We have an outer city called Grosse Pointe.
Okay.
And it was no melanated anybody anywhere in
None.
Grosse Pointe.
Really?
I just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But when we used to cross over, now we innocent young kids.
Right.
We wasn't no bad kids tearing up nothing.
Yeah.
We breaking no laws. We just riding our bikes trying to have a good time. We would have police roll up on us and everything.
Wow.
What are you doing? What are you doing over here?
Yeah.
All kind of questions. We 8. I'm like,
right.
Like, why are you even talking to me? Like,
right.
I'm just riding my bike. I didn't understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Wow.
So, but later I found out it was racism. My parents was like, yeah, you can't. I'm gonna have to stop you from going over there because of that.
Right.
I never experienced it.
Okay. And I asked that question because I've literally come across a lot of Black people that said they've never experienced it.
So I don't know my reaction.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. For real? Never?
Yeah. My husband said he's never experienced it. I experienced it. Yeah.
The secret to that.
When I'm around white folk or whatever, even though I worked at Emory, when they see me, it's like they bow down and get on out the way. They're like, you know, big Black guy.
Yeah.
You know, he don't smile. Like, I ain't gonna even touch him. So I don't know my reaction.
Right.
If I would experience that, depending on what you say. You know, I don't know. I never experienced it.
Right.
I've experienced it in a major way.
Wow. Okay.
In different points of my life.
Yeah. Because my husband, it was a shocker when my husband told me that. I was like, really? He was like, no. He said, I've never,
Did he say that they actually move out of his way?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? My husband said the same thing. He was like, if they do, he was like, they would move out of my way. I was like, that's interesting. What about you, Lamont?
I was going to say, to me, that would be a form of a slight kick into being a little racist, as in, you know, he's disgruntled.
They move out my way because I'm not moving. I'm walking straight down.
You're like, you're going to walk around me.
Yeah. I didn't experience.
What about you? Have you experienced?
I didn't experience true what I consider racism until probably about my early 20s, because I have my family is a rainbow coalition. We have Brazilian, Asian, white all up in my family, and so I don't see color. And so I'm working at DirecTV and for tech support, and you know how people think that they put the phone on mute.
Yeah.
And so this older couple and they RV wanting to get their service connected, knowing darn time well that they couldn't get the particular service that they want, and I wasn't I wasn't folding or bending or whatnot, and they were just calling me the N-word just all throughout the conversation in the background with themselves. And for me, the aggressiveness of it just took me back, and I'm like, I just broke down because I've never heard that.
Yeah.
And don't beat me for this, but I'm the person I just see Curl Purple with my wife. I've never seen Bruce.
Your black card. You're on probation.
Yeah.
The Color Purple.
Who this man?
Because remember classically Caprice.
No.
We need to but the color. I don't think she's got a color purple.
He older, he know better. He got keys. He older, he know better. He older, he know better.
We will have a meeting after the service.
That's why you always got caught. You kept messing with that mailbox.
What about you, brother?
What about you, Jay?
I'm with him. I experienced it because the company I work for, I'm in the tech world.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, over the phone, no one knew that I was black.
Okay. Yeah.
You got that white voice.
When I went to Hackathon, I don't know if people know what Hackathon is. It's a thing that our company does. If you feel that you're one of the smartest and brightest, you would actually look at problems that the company has, hack those problems, and find solutions.
Yeah.
So for a black man, a dark-skinned, big black man, to be sitting up.
You don't know that. You don't know what you're doing.
I mean, like literally, you have, and I'm just being honest. At the time, I was about 330 pounds.
Yeah.
So I'm still like John Coffey.
And big black man.
Right.
And so they didn't real. Oh well, they were tough.
John.
Did you play ball? That's the question.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm actually really smart. So we sitting there talking, and so we're going over some of the different issues and problems and how to hack those problems. And I'm just giving resolution. They're looking at me like, and his one eye is just staring at me.
Yeah.
And he was just, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never seen a black guy in the tech support game that was as smart as you are.
Yeah.
He was like, you look at stuff differently. And I was like, I understand, because most people don't.
Yeah.
When you walk into a room and you see a whole bunch of text, I'm being honest, they're not gonna say, give me the black one.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
What about you, Nelson? Right. I know you don't have a mic, but have you?
Yeah, I have. So I remember I was it was back in the time when we had to classify ads with the job.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So I went to this back to my resume.
Yeah.
It was this guy from he was I think he was like Romanian or something like that. So when I went there, for the interview, he looked at me, he looked at my resume, because my last name is Cruz. So he was thinking, the typical, Hispanic or anything look. So he looked at me, he was like, is this you? and I promised at that time, because I was like in my early 20s. Yeah. If I did not need a job at that time, because I was, I had work. Yeah. I would have cut them out. But that was, as far as, I had experience, went through different things. But as far as like actually, somebody said in my name. But the thing about it, once I had ended up getting that job, but it was some other black guys, and they was already know that this guy really was a big.
Wow, wow,
that's crazy.
That is crazy. I mean, I've experienced mine as a child in Wichita, Kansas. We were called the NB.
You was in one of them places.
Yeah, I was in that place, and I had to defend my sister. These I think it was about 5 little white kids, boys. Wow. I was in 5th grade, and we were walking home, and so the boys, they were in the front of us and the back of us, and I just remember holding my sister's hands. I said, "We just keep walking, and she was like, she was getting scared. She was my little sister, and I'm like, keep walking, and that boy said, "NB. You NB, what are you doing? Walk?" And I just kept walking, and I said, because my dad always said, if they touch you, then you have the right, right. But if they keep calling you names, just keep it going. He was like, and that was my dad's reality. That's how he taught us. He was like, you don't put your hand, as long as they don't touch you.
Touch you.
But that boy stopped us. They like literally stopped us because they surrounded us. And then he started spitting on us.
Oh.
That was my first time fighting. And I tried to.
You have to fight at that point.
I did. And what stopped me from like literally breaking his skull, because I was beating his skull in on the concrete. And the white woman came up and she said, "Y'all leave them girls alone, And she drove in her car and walked us on the way home. So like if she hadn't come, that boy probably would have been dead. Yeah, because I was like, you spit on us, and then you start berating us. Now you're in my space, and I have to protect my sister.
See, that's something.
And that was KKK City.
That was meant to antagonize you.
Yeah, but when you spit on me and my sister, and you can't even say the word right correctly, first of all, you really tick me off. So I was like, boy, when my dad found out, woo.
He went over there to the bar.
He tried to find out. He didn't know where they were, because we were walking through a neighborhood, and he wasn't sure where they lived. But that's when he got up, and we moved out of that city, because he was like, he worked at the airport, so he couldn't get to us, like he couldn't get home. So that was his way of protection.
And I was always confused by it because I was never raised that way.
Right,
so
right.
Here I am on one end, not even trying to see color.
Right.
Aside from the fact that I had a white friend growing up and everything.
Yep, that was my issue.
You know, so for it to happen to me,
right.
I was real confused when it was happening to me younger.
Yeah.
I was like,
it hit you differently.
Yeah.
Like you said, because you're trying to do the right thing. You're like, I don't see color. Like, but that was like, but of course, when I got here to Georgia, you see it, honey. Especially them little Becky Ann's, honey. They love looking at me, and I love looking them back.
Especially here, because like even now, like a friend of mine, we went to a bar, and it was like we had something going on at work, and it was like we were celebrating, we were done. Like it was literally 10 o'clock, and hey, let's go get us a drink. And it was crazy that they was just these bunch of white guys just kept staring.
Yeah.
And because when you look at Renee, you're like, well, this is a white dude. So they're looking at like, why is this white dude sitting at the bar having a drink with this black dude?
Yeah.
And it was funny as I don't know what, because then I said, hey, big dog, because Renee's bigger than me.
Yeah.
Renee's about 6'5".
Yeah.
360. It looked like an offensive line.
Yeah.
Sitting at the bar.
Right.
And these white guys actually, they had enough nerves to actually like say something. And then Renee turned around and he's Puerto Rican and he looks like a white guy with blue eyes. And so they're saying, yeah, que pasa, home? And they're looking like, what?
Yeah.
And I say, you know, and me, I just might be British. You never know. You know, but it's just amazing how people see that.
Right.
You know, they don't see the colors the first thing they see. They just say, you know, these two people shouldn't be. But that's what it is. When you create that narrative, fellas, put them in situations where they got to sit and look at us like, they're not over there arguing.
It's one of the most ignorant things ever.
You have to unteach it.
You had a conversation with somebody and you just looking at their skin color.
Right.
But the thing is, and like I tell a lot of people, the reason why you do that, are you intimidated?
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
If you shouldn't be scared of any, you should be able to go over to any race and say, hey, my name is such and such. And if they don't respond, cool. If they do, they're going to put their hand back out and shake it, and then you go from there.
Yeah. Listen, y'all, we are coming to the close of another great show. Listen, I hate to end these conversations. I really do. Because it's like great conversation. So that means y'all have to come back.
Almost definitely.
And we coming to the FraatHouse. So before we wrap it up.
We definitely got to go to the FraatHouse.
So before we wrap up, tell us where we can find y'all and how we can support y'all.
At FraatHouse 11 on all platforms. The main part of our show is FraatHouse 11 YouTube, our YouTube channel. Always spell the frat with the double A's. The origin is the only one different, which is Facebook. That's FraatHouse, the full words 2020. And that's where you can find us at. What you got for them, Sibo?
I just want to give a shout out, man, to TaShon at the mailroom. Hey, man.
Definitely.
Hey, I love this, man. The fellas, hey, this is love. It's like being in the frat.
Yeah.
You know? But we're gonna turn it up when
y'all gonna turn it up. Look, I'll turn it up with y'all. We're gonna turn it up.
So please let me mention our new venue.
Yeah.
Thank you to Mike at Real Steel Bar and Lounge. Every Friday, 8 p.m. That's 2565 Wesley Chapel Road. We have an experience now where on Fridays we do relationship podcasts, and you can come in live as the audience.
So y'all actually do the podcast there on Fridays. Okay, cool.
In a private room in the back of the bar and lounge.
Okay.
You know, the wait staff will come in,
take care of you,
get your food, get your drink on, whatever. You can check us out live.
Yeah.
And then the party is directly after that.
So, a party after the conversation, huh? I like that. A party after the conversation.
I might not be home.
Well, on behalf of the mailroom, we really, really, really appreciate your support of the mailroom and 101 TKO Radio. And again, the invitation is extended. I want y'all to, because again, I want us to continue this conversation, and I need y'all to go on over to the website, IamTrinetteLCollier.com, and get your ticket, because we're going to extend this conversation at the listening party, y'all. Y'all need to get y'all tickets. Tell your friends to get your tickets. Yeah. They're on sale now, y'all. Don't wait till the last minute. But this is going to be part of that conversation where we're just going to really have like that raw conversation, and we get to listen to the Black men on the panel. That's like super dope, because again, it's so much out here to be talked about, and we really need to listen to each other, whatnot. But this one is really like the women listening to y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna listen to y'all.
I want to thank them for creating something like that.
Yeah. So, I really, and when God gave me this vision, again, I always tell, He didn't just give me a show. He really was like, you need to start listening. You ask for a new husband, and you can't have a new husband with the old ways. So, and I'm like, I do listen. And he's like, no, you don't. And I'm like, okay. All right.
All it takes is some chicken wings to start calling.
I'm going to listen. I told him I'm going to listen. So come Monday.
The app is gone today, right?
Uh-huh. So that's what you're finna do now at the end of the show, right?
101 TKO Radio. I'm going to delete the app.
Dang.
Okay.
We believe in it in you.
If not you.
It's not me.
It's the app.
So until then.
You are now a pescatarian. Officially.
With that, I'm going to delete the app. And listen, y'all come right back next week, same time, same place. Live on 101 TKO Radio and the mailroom. And we are out. Peace.
Peace.
Same time, same place. Live on 101 TKO Radio and the mailroom. And we are out. Peace.
Yeah, that's right. I'm talking to you. That's just my baby.